Hey everybody, good morning and welcome, not waken or awaken to Awaken Your Spirit. I am Julie Murphy and I have started this awakening series because I wrote this book called Awaken Your Wealth. And what I've come to learn is that your money is actually the result of everything else going on in your life. So we always try to fix things from a money perspective, but if we don't learn to build our wealth from the inside out, which means working on our health, our relationships, our soul and our spirit and our work life, like doing things from that place of passion and purpose, the money actually never is sustainable. It may come and you may have this up and down. And so today we are going to help awaken and align your soul with your spirit, with all this expansion that's going on. And my friend David Ghlardi is going to help us do that. David, hi.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Off to a good start this morning, huh? Working with some great energy and great information. And starting to move our consciousness in a, most of the time what we do is we see what's going on outside on the world and we react to that. And so we get trapped in that reactivity. And I think there's a point now where we really have to take responsibility for our consciousness, really responsibility for our emotions, and really decide how our day is going to be, how we are going to project our energy. Are we going to be in a reactive mood, or are we going to be in a proactive, which means that we're going to, from our own knowing, from our own hearts, from our own souls, project some wonderful energy out in the world through our creativity, whatever we do in the world, to be people that are sending positive energy out. There's so much negative energy going on right now because people are freaked out about a lot of different things. And so it requires us to step into our mastery.
Mm-hmm.
And be
it's really about what we choose to plug into is what I was saying. Sorry to interrupt, right. But you're right. And we have to decide what path we're going to plug into or not plug into, because it really is all of our choice. And we really are the creators of our lives. So tell us, how are you going to help us do that today, David?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through an energetic, we're going to move, I'm going to show you how to move energy through your body. Okay.
Awesome.
This is a good way to start. And I always like to start using pyramids. Pyramids are, they're part of sacred geometry, and they're a way for you to really align yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually very quickly. So,
well, we're getting some comments that people really need this today. So let's really beam them up. Let's give them lots and lots of it.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
All right, let's jump right into the energy, everybody. And if you've never done this before, don't worry. All you really need to do is close your eyes and feel into your body, and you will start to feel what David is going to be channeling to us from an energetic perspective. And if it seems esoteric to you, just think of it like, how does your cell phone work? Your cell phone gets energy from somewhere, and so can our human bodies. And it's the same thing. It's just doing it into our consciousness and into our being. So David, with that.
All right. Here we go. So let's focus, go inside, find that place, connect into your heart, connect into your quiet space. And what I'd like you to do is use, I'd like you to imagine a pyramid of 24-karat golden light. Huge pyramid, like the pyramid at Giza in Egypt, or the pyramid at Teotihuacan, the pyramid of the divine, of the feminine, of the mother. And I'd like you to step into that pyramid of light, and we're going to actually stack 13 of them together, one on top of another, because the number 13 is very magical. And I'd like you to, so you're in this pyramid of light, and at the base of the pyramid of light are 3 circles of light of 13 mama dragons, 13 pointed stars, and 13 dream weavers. And I'd like you to feel this golden light start to 24 karat golden light, plasma light, start moving into your toes, your arches, your heels. I'd like you to feel that light moving up your legs, feel it moving into your knees, and then into your hips. And as that light anchors into your hips, I want you to imagine a radiant sun. It's a beautiful radiant sun at the base of your spine. And as you see that sun, I want you to feel the energy of it. I want you to feel the light, the power of it, just starting to move up your spine. We're going to take that and we're going to move that 24 karat golden light up the spine. And when we get to the heart center, I want you to feel an explosion of light, feeling your heart opening. And a great way to do that is to think about or focus on things that you really love, whether it's great beauty. Also, a lot of times it can be focusing on your children and the deep love you have for your children, deep love you have for people in your life, but just starting to open the heart up. We're gonna send some beautiful energy, like an explosion of light, into the heart to open it and expand it. You might start to feel kind of a tingling, but just feeling the heart opening. And we're going to then continue bringing the golden light up your spine, into your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands, your fingers. Just feel this golden light flowing through your body. We're going to feel that golden light coming out your palms, out your fingertips. And then we're going to move to the brain stem, and at the base of the brain, or the brain stem and the shoulders, we're going to place another central sun, a beautiful radiant sun there. So I want you to feel the radiance and the light of that sun. And we're going to connect the sun at the base of your spine with the sun at the base of your brain stem through an energy that's kind of like a figure 8. It's called a toric field. And so that energy is going to go from the base of your spine, go through your heart, into the base of your brain stem and back, just like a recirculating figure 8. And so we're going to just feel that energy really connecting. So this is connecting the power base at the base of your spine to the power base at the brain stem. And so as we continue, we're going to focus on that central sun at the brain stem, and we're going to activate your thymus, your hypothalamus, your pituitary, and your pineal glands. And the pineal gland is a very powerful gland. It is in the center of the brain, and it is the area that really connects you to your higher levels of consciousness and awareness. So we're going to place a central sun, a radiant sun, in your pineal gland in the very center of your brain. I want you to kind of imagine that, feel the radiance of that. And then we're going to expand the pineal gland from global to galactic to interdimensional. Just feeling your mind expanding, feeling all the neurostructure of your brain fully activating, switching on, connecting with all this light that's moving through it. And we're going to then connect into the multiverse. And the multiverse is you as you connect into your more expanded levels of light that connect you into other universes, other galaxies that may have been dormant, but we want to switch all that on, and also switching on your capacity to experience consciousness through your multidimensional and holographic capacities, which are higher brain function that are now starting to activate in the human family. So we want to connect into those, and they're very all connected to light. And we're going to now, I'm going to have you spiral out the out your third eye, which is right between your two eyes, and out your, we're going to spiral out the apex of the pyramid. And we're going to start traveling as plasma light in form. So that means that you're now in a body of radiant 24 karat golden plasma light traveling through the galactic corridor, merging the plasma of your blood with the plasma that is the central sun, feeling a fusion of light, feeling radiance, feeling yourself become kind of effervescent, right? And we're going to continue traveling through that galactic corridor, through the galactic gateway. And we're going to come upon a beautiful kaleidoscope of brilliant fractal or prismatic light. I'd like you to allow yourself to just kind of go into the very center of that kaleidoscope. You feel it spiraling in a clockwise direction, feel it drawing you in. And as it draws you in, I'd like you to feel yourself moving into these fractals of light and going really into the center of that kaleidoscope, like in the very apex of the kaleidoscope, there's like an oculus or an all-seeing eye. And from there, we're going to go directly into the sun, the central sun. So I want you to feel like you're moving into a radiant sun and traveling through that sun. So we're going to start raising the energy now. I want you to notice that all the golden light that's been in your physical body is now starting to activate. You really feel a lot of energy starting to move in the physical body, as well as starting to move in through your consciousness, through your mind. We're really starting to move into these beautiful fractals of light. And what these fractals of light do as you go into this kaleidoscope is I want you to empty or release any and all negativity that you might be carrying, negative emotion, negative thought form, just releasing that into these beautiful radiant fractals of light that are really spiraling you into a wonderful radiant sun. I want you to just feel the warmth and the luminosity of that sun, just really activating your whole vibrational field. You may start to feel the all the atoms and molecules in your body and your being really starting to vibrate with this radiant sun. And we're just going to continue moving in that, releasing any and all concerns, any and all negativity, any and all stress. We're going to just keep releasing that into this sun and having the sun clear and purify your entire consciousness. It's just feeling, and you may start to really feel activity in your heart, feeling your heart starting to really open, almost like it's opening, like it's dilating and becoming very full and receptive, and feeling that flow of energy. As we continue with that, I want you to just feel like you're this radiant flow of light, just going through these fractals, even releasing perhaps your physical form, and just feel yourself flowing as radiant light, just traveling through these fractals of light in the kaleidoscope, really being blown away by the beauty of the fractals in the kaleidoscope, becoming one with the kaleidoscope. There we go. And as your heart starts to open, just allow that to continue. You'll start to feel a real lightness in your being. Just feeling that things are all is well. Releasing all thought form and just going into that flow of light, that all is well. Feeling your whole body being kind of encapsulated in this luminous light. I'd like you to find that place within yourself where all is well. Really deep in your core. That place where, even though there's a lot going on in our world and in our lives, that you kind of can move into that place and go, you know, but deep in my car, I'm okay. I'm good. There. And that's that place that's untouched by this world. That's that place where you exist in eternal well-being. Where you exist in joy. Where you exist in creativity. Okay, so now we're going to kind of accelerate this energy, make it stronger, this well-being. And just allow this light to pour through you. You might even want to extend that light to others that you know need it. Just sending light and love to people. Perhaps sending some light and some love to the areas that are being ravaged by fire. Send our good energy. You know, that the fires will soon be contained. And sending energy around the globe that a lot of the issues that we have with disease will become resolved. And I want you to think about this time on the planet where there's a lot of chaos, that we're really moving into, we're in a process of transformation. And we will move through the chaos and we will come to a whole new level of being, a whole new level of consciousness. That's what's happening. That we're in the state of evolution. And in that process, we're being expanded to move more deeply into the intelligence of our heart, into the connection that we have with other dimensions, other galaxies, becoming more and more connected into our souls. Connecting into the reasons that we decided to take on a human body and be here at this particular time on Earth. But this is not an accident, it's not random. That we agreed to be here. And we are part of a human consciousness that is bringing revelation, that is bringing transformation, that we are literally shedding part of the lower nature of the human consciousness, the fear-based consciousness, and birthing into heart-based, love-based consciousness individually and then collectively. But oftentimes when we're going through these shifts, these changes, chaos is part of it. And chaos will lead to, it will be resolved. And we will be blessed to experience a new consciousness and a new earth. Very rare for humans to be able to have that happen. Most humans have been born and died in the same consciousness, the same structure, but we have chosen to be pioneers. We have chosen to be those that pioneer a new consciousness, having a much vaster relationship with the multiverse, that we are the humans that are becoming enlightened humans, awakened humans, humans that understand that we're all interconnected and that everything in our world is interconnected, and that we must be fully conscious, fully alive, fully in our hearts, so that we can receive this beautiful light that's coming from the central sun to us to awaken us. It's activating codes of light within us. It's activating DNA. It's activating cellular restructuring, rebirth. And the easiest way to move through this is to be surrendered and / empowered in our transformation. Excuse me. And to decide that we're going to embody this journey of awakening and the new you and the new consciousness, and how blessed we are to be able to be part of it. Okay, so I'm going to accelerate the energy a little more now. Excuse me. And I want you to really feel your capacity to love expand, okay? I want you to really feel your heart really expanding. We're just going to continue with allowing this energy to expand during this class that we're doing. So I'm going to continue to do this transmission as Julie and I continue talking, and you just allow yourself to expand and feel the flow, feel the vibration, feel how good it feels. Feel every cell of your body vibrating, radiating this light. Feel that you're well on your way to a massive renaissance, a massive awakening to a whole new level of your being. How exciting is that? That you, as you move through this this ascension process, as you move through this process of moving from the caterpillar to the butterfly, you know, that metamorphosis. Once we align with that and go, you know, okay, I have an adventurous spirit and this feels good to me, nothing feels bad. I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to do it. Yeah. It's better to ride a horse in the direction it's going, always. So, okay, Julie, how you doing?
Good. Definitely feeling the energy.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I think it's important for people to understand that this is about getting you to where it is that you want to be in your life, and that you really can't get there unless you shift your energy along with your daily actions, which is shifting your energy. And think of this almost like a boost to getting you to that next place. I think it's really important that regardless of anything that is your current reality, that that's not who you are, and that wherever your energy and your focus is what you become. And that's one of the things that I thought was so important about bringing you into the Awakening series, because it's so important for people to start to do things differently than they've ever done. And doing energy work is definitely different than what most people have done. And it's something that I've been doing for over a decade now, that, you know, even people will say to me, how do you look so young? How did you get through your divorce so easily? How did you, you know, how are you a mom and an author and a business owner? And, you know, it's because I do this kind of energy work to support me when reality is a little challenging. And it's about showing up, and it's about being able to do the work. And you bringing that through the crystals has made a profound impact in my life. And I just wanted more people to experience that. So we need to get busy doing what our souls came here to do, because the world needs us now. So how does the audience feel to you? David, how does the audience feel to you?
Oh, I'm sorry, the auditory is a little bit off, but how is the audience feeling?
I would love to know energetically what you feel is going on.
Okay, so what happens is that I actually just include everybody in a stream of light. And so even though you're in individual forms, the way that kind of shows up for me is it all just becomes this radiant light that goes directly into the central sun. And so the part that I play is I'm really just a human being that has learned how to connect into these levels of light, into these other dimensions. And so it's about sharing that, and each one of you are going to have a very individual experience of that energy and that light coming in. What I find really important, Julie, is that, you know, there's a lot of reactivity amongst a lot of people, a lot of different opinions. And I think it's really important that we find a way to come from our own knowing, from our own truth. So the heart has its own intelligence. It has its own brain, really. And so I always encourage people to go with that knowing. So, you know, when you have that moment where you just know something, you don't know why you know it or how you know it, but you know it, right?
Right.
And so I think we all have those moments. And oftentimes we find if we go against our knowing, right, we regret it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew I should have done that, but I made a
Right.
different decision.
Right.
And so this is about really cultivating a relationship with yourself, with your heart, with that knowing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because that your heart and that knowing, that's your true north. That's where you step away from all the endless chatter and opinions and go in deep and go, this is what's true for me. This is what feels right for me. This is because then you're moving into your authentic self.
Well, and can I point out that it's what you just said, that you have to feel into it. It's not what you think is right for you. It's about what you're feeling is right for you. And there's a big differentiation there. And so when you do this energy work with us, that it puts you in an openness to be able to feel what your head is trying to reason out. And, you even said it to me yesterday, Jewel, this is not going to be solved from your mental. This is going to be solved from your soul and your light levels. And I think that's really important for people to start to understand that it is resolved at a higher level.
Right. So when you're in this heart space that we're talking about, when you're flowing from that energy, it's very different from the logical linear brain function where you're dealing with concepts and making decisions. This is a level where the energy feels like flow.
Mm-hmm.
Life is flowing, and as it flows, there's synchronicity. Things start to synchronize. It's like you'll have a problem or an issue, and you're not quite sure how to handle that. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call or something shows up that there's this connectivity that flows through that body of intelligence. And it's a very different way to experience life. And I really pay attention to that because it's like things just naturally, when you move in that flow, if you're in deep fear, it closes off the flow. But when you open your heart, there's this flow and this energy and synchronicity, and things start to show up and solutions start to present.
Right.
And the thing is that when those solutions start to present, then you have to recognize it, right? Whatever that is, and take action.
Right.
And then sometimes you re-engage the mental at that point and go, okay, this is what I need to do. Now that I've decided what I'm going to do, it's shown up for me. Now I'm going to take action and get it done. So it's the mental level is not wrong or bad. It just cannot run the show anymore because it doesn't have the capacity to deal with higher levels of light and higher levels of intelligence. It wasn't programmed that way. The heart is the part of your being that handles the higher levels of intelligence, the higher levels of knowing. Knowing is a heart process. Thinking is more a cognitive and brain function. We need both.
One of my other teachers always says, start with your heart and then add your smarts.
There you go. There you go.
And that's really what it's about. But we've flipped it over the years. We've ignored the human heart, and we've done everything of what's the smart way to do it? What's my neighbor doing? What's the person in the cubicle next to me doing? And then what are the keep up with the Joneses? And that's where I have found that's where people have created their suffering patterns then, because that's not necessarily aligned with your heart and your soul. And that's when problems come into being.
Right. And if anybody wants to kind of explore this whole journey of the heart, Stanford University did a whole study on the intelligence of the heart, a pretty thorough study, and they've created something called heart math. The heart and then the MATH. And you can look, if you look that up, I think it'll give you some really good information, scientific information, that this isn't just some mumbo jumbo that somebody cooked up, but it actually is hard science. And so at that point, it's like part of our job is to open our heart. Part of our job is to move into that level of intelligence. We cannot navigate the next part of our journey on this planet if we don't.
Right. We have to navigate it through our heart and our soul, not our minds.
Exactly.
It's absolutely critical to do that.
Right.
Well, and one of the things that I think is important is to let everyone know that David and I are going to be, we wanted to bring this to you on a weekly basis to kind of give you a taste of what this is all about. But I think it's really important to note that by all means, you can get a hold of David and do one-on-one sessions with him, because I know for me, that is a part of my world. And then also, we're going to be developing a private class with a smaller group of people if you want to come in, so that we can really do these energy sessions. What I've found that when you do them in groups, it actually amplifies the energetic force, and there's bigger change and bigger shifts that occur. So we are going to, so look out over the next month. We're going to be unfolding to where we're going to be inviting all of you to a more powerful private class for you guys to come into. But on Tuesday mornings, we're going to continue to do these energy sessions to kind of give you like a taste of what it feels like to have energy channeled to you. And again, I always use our cell phone as an example that you can call China, it's energetically tapping into something that's the same thing. It's, the quantum field that we are tapping into to channel higher vibrational light into you in your experience, so that you can get to the next place with grace and ease and it not be such a suffering cycle. David, is there anything else you'd like to share with anyone?
What I want to say is like, yes. Again, I want to go back to where we are kind of in consciousness on the planet. And, yes, there's a lot of, again, I want to talk about the chaos for a moment, but this is the breaking through into new consciousness. So there's also great opportunity. And the great opportunity for us is to open to a whole new level of our being that we may have never even considered. Or if we had considered a little bit, it didn't seem very practical. It's like, how is that going to make my life different? And so how this is going to make your life different is that you're going to be able to learn to move this energy, move this love at your beck and call. You're going to wake up and say things are chaotic, and you're going to go, you know what? This is not the way I'm going to do my day. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to focus, and I am going to change my energy. And I'm going to start being a master in my own life. I'll start with that. How's that? And the freedom that you'll feel when you know that if you wake up in fear or you wake up depressed, that you don't have to stay that way all day long, that you have tools and the capacity to change that. And once you're able to change that and change your perception and change the way your energy flows and the way you feel, then, you know, you're gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna find my way through this. I'm going to
Right.
emerge from all of this this seeming chaos through transformation. I'm going to rise above it as I move through it. I'm going to have a better life, better connected with human beings, much more in touch with nature and the world around me. This is going to be the beginning of my really becoming alive. And the
Right.
other thing I want to say really quickly is that, and I've said this before, but what happens is that, you know, when we're born, we come out the chute, and right away we're being programmed by our family, lovingly, but they're telling us who we are, who our people are. Basically,
Whether you're a Cubs fan or a Sox fan here in Chicago.
yeah, exactly. And then since we've been in a universe of duality, it's like, so we start going through life and we decide this is good, that's bad, and we create this story of our lives, and then we get trapped in it. And so part of our working together is to deconstruct the story and the trap that you've gotten yourself in, perhaps. I haven't met a human yet that hasn't done that, by the way. And free yourself. You know, by that it's like, what is my truth? You know, and what is true for me? And I want out of this story. If you notice, every time you have a very strong emotion, it will trigger the story immediately. And when you get into that story, it usually will take you right into fear and helplessness. So to have the opportunity to break out of that and not live in that anymore, to be free and opening your heart, connecting to these other levels of yourself, all the discovery of self-discovery, that the potential for that's right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was cleaning out some of my notes from some things that I've done over the years, and I was reminded of that if you're feeling helpless and hopeless, that equals being OCD. And think about obsessive compulsive disorders. Like if you're a person that needs to have everything organized and you have to get it and put it in place, and you know, like I certainly know I've done that through the years. It's like, but start to recognize that if you watch yourself doing OCD behaviors, that that's you feeling hopeless and helpless. And and that's when you know there is a shift to occur, because your heart and your soul is telling you to do something differently. And so instead of going into those helpless and hopeless and OCD behaviors, drop in and go, what do I need to do to not feel helpless or hopeless right now? Because that's why I'm OCDing. But I think we've rolled over our emotions so much that just to plow through and get the next day done, that we've steamrolled over our hearts, and that is not energetically going to be allowed anymore. Like, you are going to continue to call in challenging experience after challenging experience that's going to open your gateway to this healing, and you get to decide how massive the crisis is going to be. Because if you hear the signs along the way, you don't have to call in a major crisis to shift it. Unfortunately, many times human beings do wait for a massive crisis. You know, that's what we all call the midlife crisis, right? That's usually a big turning point. But for all of us, it's happening right now. And question is what are you going to do about it? And so that's why here with this awakening series and helping you guys on Tuesday mornings awaken your spirit and align with your soul, that's what we're here to help facilitate you guys through, so that we can get you there on a smoother path. Any other tidbits for everyone? How can they get a hold of you if they'd like to do some extra work with you one-on-one?
You know, there's They can go to my website, which is 𝐾𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, GILARDY.com. Or they can reach me by phone at 928-592-8062. And I do power sessions with people, and that's where I can work very specifically with opening you up individually and really starting to move you through this energetic process in a really significant way. I've been doing this for years. It's my passion. It's what I love doing, and I would love to work with you if that feels right to you. Thanks, Julie.
And again, we'll be putting together a package so that we can all come together in a group format, because I think that that's actually important as well, that we start to do this more at a group level as well, so we can ramp up the power behind it all. Thanks, everybody, and thanks for joining us on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye-bye.